The Titans have made two signings ahead of their preseason game this Saturday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. Two sneaky signings. One we're very familiar with, Quandre Diggs and Joshua Bledsoe. But when those two signings happen, you know, some cut candidates, some guys had to be let go as they got to keep the roster under 90 players. Titus Leo, the defensive end, and also Mark Perry, the safety. Let's just kind of start with Titus Leo. He was not really a guy that you were going to see kind of get a lot of playing time come the 53-man roster cuts come to the regular season. You can see his 2024 stats: 4 tackles, 0 sacks, 1 tackle for loss. And Mark Perry, he didn't really even see any NFL playing time his entire career. Last year, he was with the New England Patriots, signed off the practice squad, and the Titans were like, well, he hasn't really showed anything in training camp, so let's just move on for him. We can get a guy like Quandre Diggs. But since they made a signing, you know we have to make a video. And every time the Titans make a move, we got you guys covered. So that's why you subscribe to Titans Today. We hit 11,000 subscribers, and now we're already up to 11,104. Let's get those numbers up to 12,000. So go ahead, hit that sub button right now. Subscribe to Titans Today if you want every single day coverage surrounding the Tennessee Titans. All right, let's talk about the little reunion in Tennessee. The Titans re-signed Quandre Diggs after he was cleared to play for the year of 2025. And this one was kind of a bit of a surprise to me. I'm not really going to say like, oh, this is a great signing. It was just a surprise. I mean, Adam Schefter had this at about 3 p.m. Central Time, and he said Quandre Diggs, who played 8 games for the Titans in 2024 before suffering a season-ending injury. Prior to the Titans, he played for the Lions and the Seahawks. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, cool. You get a guy back, a guy that can cover. He's played pretty well, but he also has a connection with Tennessee. This is something I had no idea, but once I saw it on Twitter, everybody was making it a note of it. Diggs is cousins with Cam Ward, so they have a little quarterback connection. I tell you guys all the time that Cam Ward is probably going to be the reason why Xavier Restrepo makes this roster come August 26th when you got to cut down to 53. So also Cam Ward probably had a little involvement in the signing of Quandre Diggs, and I really don't mind this. Like, it's not what you specifically needed. I've talked about it before on this channel that I would love the Titans to go out and sign a linebacker, but they really like James Williams. And on the latest depth chart revealment, going ahead of the game on Saturday, he was listed as the guy who's going to be next to Cody Barton. But talking about Quandre Diggs, for those 8 games he played for the Titans last season before he got hurt, I mean, you could see it right here, solid. 42 tackles, 13 defensive stops, 2 missed tackles, which is not big. You're only missing 2, 73.2 PFF grade. That's better than a lot of the bench players on this team. And the tackling grade, 87.2. He does not miss tackles. And you know you always like to have a coverage guy with 70.6. Overall, like, he's been healthy his entire career leading up to that point with a season-ending injury. You can see 17 games played, 17 before, 17, 95 tackles, 94 tackles as a safety, or moving over into going from corner to safety. So I still think he's got a little bit left in the tank. But those PBUs, he is a lockdown guy. 5, 7, and 7. Like, he's going to bring some potential to this defense and just another add-on piece to this safety room. But I'll talk about Joshua Bledsoe. I'm not going to go out and say that this is going to be as big as Quandre Diggs. I mean, you can see right there. He hasn't played in the NFL since 2023. He was playing overseas. He was with the Patriots practice squad. He got promoted, but he has not played since, not 2015. Producer Casey, you don't have to bring on that L3. It's since 2023. But it's just a guy that hasn't played in 2 years. Is he really going to bring much to the table? I'm not 100% sure. You don't have that NFL type game that you're playing. It's a different speed between if you're playing in Canada or you're playing with the UFL. It is completely different from the NFL. So I don't expect him to make this roster, but Quandre Diggs, I really think could have some potential coming back from last year here in Tennessee. You guys, grade the 2 signings for me. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F? You're probably going to get hit with an ad break right here, so go in the comments right now. What do you think? Give me an A, B, C, D, or F on the 2 signings. I'll give the Quandre Diggs one a B. I'll give the Joshua Bledsoe one probably I'll give it a D minus. I still want a linebacker. I really still want a linebacker on this team, a veteran linebacker. Going to talk about what this means for the roster and what it means for this depth chart, because there's one guy who I still think is going to be a starter in this league, and he's a safety. But first, you can still get your Cam Ward jerseys on sale right now. 20% off. Go to chatsports.com/Ward, and you can get it in every single colorway. If you want to go with the home, if you want to go with the throwback Oilers, which is my favorite jersey, if I haven't got my Cam Ward jersey yet, I'm going to need to get it real soon. And use that link, chatsports.com/Ward. Only $104. Originally, they're $130, and I can guarantee you, once we get to the season, they ain't going to have that sale no more. So go right now, chatsports.com/Ward. Once again, we'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. So the Titans now have just massive depth at the safety position. I talked about it in one of those videos. If you want to go back right now, which is why you subscribe to the channel, you can look at my roster rankings of every single position of the Tennessee Titans. And I said that they had the best safety room on the team. It goes over the defensive line. It is the safeties. You have Amani Hooker. You have Xavier Woods. Now you add Quandre Diggs, and there's one guy in particular that I will keep talking about and talking about and talking about, and that's Kevin Winston Jr. But overall, it's just, when you have this much depth and this much talent, there's just too much to really go around. You have way too much talent, and there's not enough spots at safety for these guys. How are you going to fit in Quandre Diggs while also getting Amani Hooker? And you signed Xavier Woods, who's coming off a breakout year. So where did they all fit? That's the only problem I have with this signing, is just because you have so many. Maybe you could move Quandre Diggs back to cornerback if we don't get L'Jarius Sneed. But Kevin Winston Jr. is a rookie out of Penn State. And I know these stats right here. You see it, 13 tackles, no interceptions. That's completely deceiving, because he had a season-ending injury a year ago. But he is a ball hawk. A ball hawk, people. When he's on the field, he's going to give it his all, and we've seen that throughout training camp so far. You had Zach Lyons talk about it. Said Kevin Winston Jr. plays every single rep like it's the last play of the game. The most intensity out here in these 11-on-11s, and he's just really impressed over time. Jim Wyatt, who covers the Titans with the team on their website, he went on to local Nashville radio, and this was a tweet from the Mettenberger. He actually tweets a lot of kind of memes and stuff like that, which I really enjoy to see. If you're on Twitter, go give me a follow at The Real Alper, but also give the Mettenberger a follow. He said, "I can tell you who I feel great about, and that is Kevin Winston Jr. In time, he'll be the team's #1 safety, the standout of camp." Like, when you see that these people are really seeing a rookie just standing out at camp, being better than Xavier Woods, being better than Amani Hooker, you really think that at some point he's going to break out and be that starter come, I don't even know if it's going to be next season. It might be 8 to 10 games down the road, because he is probably one of the best safeties in the draft. And you saw it in his 2023 season. 61 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 6 PBUs, and an interception. That is insane stats. I know 2024 he didn't play a lot, but that's because of the injury. When he was playing on the field, when he was on the field for the Nittany Lions, he was a ball hawk, and I think that he could easily jump into that starting role later down the line, and he is the future at safety of this. But when I talk about all the talent that you have here in Tennessee, there's no guarantee that Quandre Diggs is going to make this roster. It is August, people. When you sign somebody in August, that's the audition. I would not say his spot is completely guaranteed on this roster. I would not call him a lock for the 53-man roster spot. I know he played last year. I know he was solid, but coming off that injury and with the talent that you have, you're going to have to play well in the preseason to jump Amani Hooker, to jump Xavier Woods, to jump Kevin Winston Jr. I don't know if they're going to keep 5 safeties on this roster going into September, going into week 1, because you usually don't see that in the NFL most years at a time. It could possibly happen, but I don't know. I think that one person's going to get cut. So Quandre Diggs, you better show out when we get to the preseason. What's your level of confidence that Diggs will make the 53-man roster? Scale it from 1 to 10 for me. Give me a 1 if you think, this is just a throwaway signing. He's going to go into camp and you'll see him off the roster come August 26th. Or give me a 10 if you think this is a lock. He's going to go back into his starting role, which what we saw last year, the injury has no doubt whatsoever when it comes to making this team. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We hit 11,000 subs, and you guys subbed it up. We've already gotten 11,100, so we're now on our way to 12,000. So if you want Titans coverage every single day, go and hit that sub button. And as always, tighten up.